I'm rated R, this is a warning. 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 Who am I? Let me spell my name out for you. Raid.
A DJ to some is just someone who plays records for the crowd. To others, it can be considered a musical art form, a way to express themselves through music. With all the different genres of music out, there's many of different ways of putting music together. My name is Eric McDonald, also known as DJ Snipez, the Buckeye Boy. I'm a person who's very passionate about DJing. Music has always been a part of me, so I take it very seriously. Ever since the day since I got to touch a pair of turntables, I've worked hard to become better every day, practicing for countless hours and trying to get my technique correct. I've also DJ'd at many different types of events. I've competed in quite a few battles. I have won some, and I have lost some. But that's what comes with it. I also play for nightclubs, where people come out to enjoy themselves with the music. But there's also many of other different things that I have been a part of as well as far as DJing. I've done weddings, birthdays, community events, private parties, and all different types of events. Why do I do it? Because I love it. You have many different DJs. You have your regular nightclub DJs. You have your travel DJs. You have just your straight wedding DJs, karaoke DJs, mixtape DJs, show DJs, battle DJs, many of different type of DJs that are out there. So I became curious. I wanted to get to know the background of some of the other ones. I wanted to know their background, how their life is, the struggles that they may have went through. I got the chance to reach out to a couple DJs and got the chance to sit down and talk with them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for DJ D-Rok.
This one here is a local SoCal DJ. Goes by the name of DJ D-Rok. Lives in the Inland Empire area and has some really good talent. He most definitely is a show rocker. If you want to hear some of his stuff for yourself, check this out. Pretty impressive, right? Well, I've got to catch this guy around quite a few times, and some of his battles. So I was kind of glad that he gave me the chance to get to interview him. This is the interview that took place with him.
Let's see, it's 2011. Started on 16. You know what? This December is gonna mark 8 years now. So 8 years I've been DJing now. Basically all of the above. Mobile DJing, battle DJing, club DJing, everything except karaoke. Favorite DJ now and in the past would be the same guys. 8-Track, Craze, Beat Junkies. Pretty pretty much those are all the guys I look up to. Jazzy Jeff, Hubert, Mixmaster Mike. You know, those are the guys that I started looking up to, like, in the beginning. The guys who had a big influence on me would have to be my buddy Nonsense. He's the one that basically got me into DJing. He helped me, you know, sharpen up my skills and stuff as far as, you know, barely coming in. But as far as like the person I first saw DJing that really like caught my eye had to be my buddy's older brother. His name's Russell. Saw him at a party. He was DJing. It was like the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen. So yeah, basically it. How I got started, I was 16 years old, and I would say when I was 12 years old, I wanted to learn how to DJ. I wanted to pick up a pair of turntables, but my parents didn't agree with it, basically because my dad used to DJ, and they didn't want me around the same lifestyle or like the scene that he was around. Like, they knew what came with it. But it wasn't until when I was 16 when I finally like convinced my parents to give me a pair of turntables. So I got started with DJ in a Box by Newmart. So yeah, that's how I got started. Oh man, practicing time? A lot. I remember like school nights, I wouldn't even get no sleep. I'd be up all night going through, all I had was like 2, 3, 4 records, up all night messing with the same records, trying to like learn how to mix and everything, because I had no one to teach me like anything. I learned everything basically on my own. So yeah, a lot of time, lots of practice, countless hours, no sleep. As far as DJing, I would have to say, I know a lot of DJs deal with this, but basically when you do a gig and the person that's supposed to pay you, you know, all of a sudden just magically disappeared. And sometimes, you know, it won't be a couple days, even a week till later, you know, getting paid. So getting paid is probably like the number one thing as far as, you know, I still deal with today. And pretty much it. I remember when I was DJing at the radio station, I got booked to DJ this prom up north, and basically what it was is all the high schools threw a prom, so it was about 6 high schools, and I played in front of, I would say, at least like 5,000 kids, and it was crazy because like I was just like rocking out, man. It was like concert like sound and like just rocking the stage. That's probably one of my most like favorite gigs I ever did. Yes, I am happily married. My lovely wife, I've been with her for 7 years. I've been married for 2 years, and we do have a son by the name of Ian. He's 3 years old, and both of them have made like a big change, positive change, as far as my role as a DJ. It pushes me further as far as DJing, because I know that, like, yes, son. Excuse me, my son has to go pee. Son, come over here. Alright. They made a big positive change on my life as far as my role as a DJ. I push my DJing a lot more than before, because I know, like, you know, it's my family, I gotta support my family, so I definitely, you know, have like strive for the better because of them. So yeah, they've made a big positive change in my role as a DJ. Just California, but I've been all the way up from San Jose, San Francisco, all the way back down to San Diego, so all along California, pretty much. I wouldn't say I've been affiliated with crews. Me and my buddy, Nonsense, we used to have a crew called Dynamics, but it was just basically me and him, and you know, it was just us two, you know, making mixes, scratching, stuff like that. But I've never been a part of like an official crew, or say the so. like nothing like big or anything. So just a couple buddies getting together, just jamming out. Yeah. The battles first battles I was ever involved in were the Guitar Center spin-off battles. I did those in 05 and 06, both second place each year. And then after that, there was just other mixing battles. I can't remember the names of them, but they were just little small local battles. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to the other battle. There was a big battle in Fresno, held by the radio station by B95 in Fresno. They had this contest. It was called Mixer Idol. And basically what it was, there was about 24 DJs. And it was a battle to see who's going to win their spot to DJ live on the radio. In a permanent spot. And out of those 24, I ended up winning the whole thing. That's how I got my spot, DJing live on the radio. As far as other battles, Bezo battle, I was a finalist. I won the first round, first place. And then I made it to the finals, didn't win. As far as any other battles, that's pretty much it for those. You know what? I love technology. Technology is driven by this country. You know, just like TVs. You know, back when TVs used to have the big back in the back, like you don't see anybody with those TVs anymore, do you? Everything's all flat screen. Same thing with DJing. You know, everything went digital. And some people say it's a bad thing. To me, I say it's a good thing because, like, back when I used to do like house parties and stuff like that, I used to go to the gig, 10, 12 crates, you know, and it's like it's a strain on your back. I mean, not that it was a big problem, you know, we were there to have fun anyway. But as far as like Serato and Tractor and all those other programs, like digital DJing has made like a big impact on the DJ culture as far as making it real easier to travel around with music. You know, instead of going around with 75 crates, big old suitcases, you can just carry everything in a laptop. So I definitely like the way digital DJing has made it more easier for us DJs today. No, just Serato. I've been on Serato since 2004, I believe. 2004, 2005. That's when I started in Serato. So yeah, still using Serato today. Seriously, the best thing to do is watch a lot of DMC old videos on YouTube. You know what? YouTube's like the best outlet as far as like learning stuff and like learning, a bunch of old stuff as far as like tricks and tips and everything like that. The thing that sucks is like a lot of vinyl shops, they've closed down today. Fat Beats. But I'm not gonna say like start out with records, because like there's not one specific way to start DJing, especially for all these young cats. But for all the young aspiring DJs, keep an open mind as far as music. There's a lot of old good stuff that these young people don't know about, and I think they need to be educated with it. So it's not just about what's hot. Anybody can go somewhere and rock the club with your top 20 songs on the radio, but what about in between? You're not going to play the same 20 songs all night for 5 hours of club. So I would say for all the young cats, just keep an open mind and do your homework. That's pretty much it.
After interviewing D-Rok, it interests me more to want to find out about other DJs. I wanted to venture out and try and reach out to some others as well, to find out more about their background and their history. Just like D-Rok, who has guys he looks up to, I have mine as well. That's why I was glad to interview this next guy coming up. For this interview, I met up with him at the famous Bob's Big Boy in Burbank, California.
DJ Spryte, aight? Somebody in the house say
DJ Spryte. I've gotten a chance to catch this guy in the mix quite a few times. Seems to be a fan favorite wherever he goes. So I was most definitely glad to get the interview. Here's how this one went down.
Party people, party. I started, well, originally I used to be a b-boy or breakdancer back in like the early 90s, and I ended up hurting my neck. After that happened, I ended up becoming the DJ for the group, so I think I officially started in about 92, 93. I was really young. I was probably 14, 15 at the time, so pretty much from that point on, I pretty much DJ professionally. Now it's more of like a club festival DJ, but it didn't start out that way. I started out more in like the battle circuit and kind of moved more into the club genre of things. So I've kind of been multiple forms of DJs throughout the years, but like now I definitely classify myself as more of a club, festival type DJ. From then it'd be more like the battle guys, more of like the Visible Scratch Pickles, X-Men, like the Beat Junkies, that kind of classification of guys. Some of the guys that kind of helped me more into like the club genre of things have been like Scissorhands, Kevin Scott, AM. A bunch of those guys have kind of helped me kind of transition and become more of a club guy. With any field, there's definitely struggles, especially with DJing and travel DJing. I would say the best way of overcoming him in the way that I've overcome him about the years has just been following my own personal philosophy of being unique and having something different. There's a lot of the sameness that goes on, inside of DJing. So if you can figure out anything that, to be different, even though a lot of us have to do similar things in the club because of the music that you have to play for people to dance, and how you have to perform to make a club work and go off. But there definitely is ways where you can, be unique, and that's definitely helped me through all my struggles and kind of come out sort of, on top, I guess. Yeah. Well, there's always a next step. There's definitely, even at the point I am now, there's definitely multiple more steps. So I'm always, in the struggle or trying to better myself and trying to advance. So it's definitely just the same now as it was maybe 10 years ago when I first started kind of like the club thing. The biggest title I won in 2001, I won the ITF, which at the time it was like ITF, DMC were like kind of the two big ones. ITF was the International Turntablist Federation, which was developed by the Pickles and all them. I won the World Scratch title in 2001. But I've also won a bunch of other. I've been in the USA DMC finals. I've won the Scribble Jam, which is in Cincinnati. I won the Cool Mix, which is another battle circuit. Guitar Center, which is another battle circuit. So there's a bunch of actual battles I've competed in that I've won titles. I do some judging. I do a lot of judging now and then, but not actively battling at the moment. Yep, I started a crew called the Platter Pirates back in, I would say like the late 90s. We played from like 97, 98 to like 2003. Now, not so much. Now it's more like management teams as opposed to like DJ crews. I'm currently with a team called Rival DJs, which is me, Kevin Scott, Melody, Reflex, and me. But it's more of a, it's a group, but it's more of a managed thing as opposed to like an actual official DJ crew. That was a yearly thing. Battle season usually started in like early spring, and then those were like the regionals, and depending on the farther you made it, like the world finals and the upper finals would be like in the fall. But the whole year, from pretty much the fall all the way into the spring, I was developing routines. Oh, it was really difficult. That was definitely, those years from like the mid-90s to like the early 2000s were like kind of the peak of the battle years, where a lot of the big names that you see now, like A-Track and Craze and Hubert and Melody and those guys that are kind of DJing now, they all came out of that same era. It takes a little while because at first you want to kind of like you're kind of itching to do like kind of battle stuff and trick it up, but then you realize that in a club environment it's not really about that. It's more about like programming and making the crowd dance and just energy levels as opposed to like the tricky stuff. So I definitely had to find a balance between that because I didn't want to the skill set that I built over years and years and years. I didn't want to throw it completely out, so I had to find like a happy medium between the two. But it was definitely a little bit of a It was definitely a rough year of a couple of years where I kind of had to get things straight and figure it out, but I finally did. all my gigs are national. So every weekend I'm somewhere else in the States. I do some international. I do a lot of Canada, and then like in the spring I'll do like Mexico and stuff like that. Not a ton of like Europe or Asia. I've done it a couple times, but not a whole lot. But national, yes. Every weekend is, you know, East Coast, Midwest, South, West. It's always different. So every weekend is different. My residencies aren't like confined to like California. They're like all kind of like monthly or once every 2 month based, but around the country. There's a couple. I like DJing in my hometown of Chicago, which is one of my favorites to play. But I also like just like Vancouver in Canada, Calgary, a lot of the Canadian cities. For some reason, they're a lot more like musically open. You know, you go to a lot of spots maybe like even in the Midwest and South, and like it's very, you know, commercial fed and what like the radio plays. But in Canada, they're only allowed to play 40% other content on the radio. So the others, I think 60% has to be Canadian, I believe. So they really mix up their like even their like radio. So their big channels like their Power 106 or Kiss FM will play a wide variety of stuff. So they're a lot more open up there. It's great. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, it's just being, you know, paid to like travel, and you know, and then even when I get there, you know, to have fun and play music and, you know, get to party with all these, you know, people from around the country, meet new people, and make friends with people all over the country and world for that matter is great. So I mean, it's, you know, definitely one of the best jobs I can think of having. For club sets, you know, at the beginning, coming out of battling, I definitely didn't want to plan everything. But once you start traveling and realizing every crowd you walk into is completely different, you really can't plan stuff because you never know what the crowd's going to be. But on the other hand, though, I really believe in playing a lot of my own stuff. So all the stuff I play is my own edits or my own remixes. So yeah, I put in pretty much a full-time 40-hour work week, just making all new edits every single week that I can play out that weekend. So I try to keep it fresh and new every weekend. And so in that sense, I am preparing weekly all the time, you know, but not the same, like not the set, but the music. Yeah, during the week it's definitely like the whole like late night, early flight kind of mentality. But you know, during the week it's more just at home and in the studio. So I'll get myself beat up a little bit on the weekends, but definitely during the week I try to catch up Monday through Wednesday. I don't really think anything should be stopped. I think there's a place for everything, and it's kind of like all different ways to get to the same end. I mean, whatever like equipment you're comfortable with and whatever you can rock it with is fine by me. I personally still love the 1200s because that's just, I mean, from the battle days, that's what I just feel very comfortable with them. Mixer, you know, I used to be like a very like Rain or Vestex guy, but I've learned because it's been pretty standard the Pioneer 800s and the 900s in the club, so that's kind of like my setup now. And I use Serato as well, which I think is a great program. You know, I used to have to travel with vinyl, and now I just travel with the laptop, so I can't, you know, hate on it. I know there's some vinyl purists that really hate on it, but you know, if you're traveling with crates and crates, you know, just having a little backpack makes it way easier. So. My take is, you know, it definitely has made it easier for people to jump in and become DJs, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It also opened up a lot of creative doors. You know, I'm able to do a lot of things I never was able to do before with a lot more ease and be a lot more creative. And just even the fact just to be able to like make something and play it that night. I mean, I guess you can argue that CDs were able to do that as well, but just the technology in general has advanced the art form as well as like allowed a lot more people to come into it. So. I know a lot of the club guys don't see it the same as I do, but like competition is a good thing and it drives people to become better. And that's, you know, when we used to battle, it's exactly how it happened. Like if you beat me, like that motivated me to become better so I can beat you the next time I see you. So I think competition is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think it's advanced stuff. That's kind of like my view on the whole digital DJing age. Just, you know, if you're an aspiring DJ, if you're a DJ, just the most important thing, I know you've heard it a million times before, is just find a way to be original. Even if you're playing or doing the exact same thing as everyone else, find a way to change it or make it your own or do something, because it really will make a difference.
I know there's a lot of DJs out there. A lot of good ones, too. And a lot of hard-working ones. But I know for a fact I wouldn't have been able to reach them all in this short interview session. I appreciate the time that D-Rok and Spryte gave me for their interview. It gave me a chance to see how they see the DJ game and how they came about it. Everyone's path is different, but as far as the DJs go, we all work hard at our craft and we try to master it as well. No matter if you're a battle DJ, wedding DJ, travel DJ, or you could be certain music genre DJs, straight hip-hop DJ, house DJ. We all are doing the same thing. And it's all from one thing, to have fun doing what we love. And Miss Ramone, can I get an A?